So I voted for the first time in my life. Yeah, I know. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, people have voted more than once in their life, and this is my first time ever voting. It wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. You know, you do a ballot and you go in and you fill it out and you put it in a slot. The thing I think was difficult is that I really want to make sure I'm making the right choices. And so I can see why people don't want to vote and why I didn't. Because, you know, you don't know if your vote matters. You don't know if it's going to make a difference, especially when you're in a state where perhaps it is it's completely the opposite ideals. Like you're in a blue state and you have some red ideals, or in a red state and you have some blue ideals. So it can be very confusing. Like, my voting was very diverse, honestly, because I looked up each person. I looked up what they were about. There was some red votes I had and some blue votes I had, because I am neither, unfortunately. I usually was on the more blue side, but this time around I found a lot of red people I believed in. Sounds so strange, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not, you don't have to choose one side, which is what I always thought I had to do. If I'm gonna choose all these other candidates, because it's not just presidential, there's all these other things and votes and props and this and that and the other. And I thought, oh my gosh, I have to choose the whatever I am, completely liberal or whatever it is. That's not necessarily true. You can be diverse in your choices. It isn't a disloyalty to your party. It is a loyalty to character, because you're choosing based on the person and their ideals, and perhaps there's diversity there, So there was some diversity for me, and in general, I did choose things that were more about our economy and our, taxation being quite high, and things along those lines, to bring more balance. But, and of course, whatever is going to help bring more peace in the war situation, because what's happening is horrific, and our economy. I do believe that our economy is not as beautiful as it used to be. I have watched, my cities collapse in so many ways. Small businesses just fizzling away. I've watched friends of mine lose everything they have because they can't do this or that. And I've seen the homeless situation, and veteran especially, a homeless situation, just more than I've ever seen before in my life. And so I've seen things get quite bad. The gas prices and everything has gotten quite out of hand. And, we are in a very difficult time and a very important time, so our votes matter. But all I realized, and why I voted this time around, was because I want to put my vote in the sense that I want to make sure that I'm participating in this in some way, because it just feels right. And also, I realized that while I was filling out my ballot, I was looking up online and in all the papers they gave us about every candidate and who they were and their backgrounds. And I mean, when I dig, I dig. If you know me, I am a digger. I will dig so deep into someone's life and find out everything. And so, I mean, I did excessive research on each person, but of course I don't know these people. We don't know these people, right? We do the best we can with what we know. But just please do your research. Please base your votes on character. It doesn't have to be based on party. It can be based on character. You don't have to be loyal necessarily to a party. You can be loyal to a person. And that's the thing, is that parties change, and they have changed a lot. since the Al Gore days or the George Bush days, a lot has changed. But what has stayed the same, though, is our ability to vote based on the character of the individual. And that's all that should matter. That's all that should matter. What should matter is their policies, what they intend to do. And remember, both of these people that we have for the presidential aspect, they are both people that have been in office, or are currently, actually. So, we've seen tastes of their existence, and we have to decide, what existence do we want from now on? What kind of energy do we want? What will be the vibe for an America that is able to be strong, and who will speak on our behalf? Who is going to advocate for us? Because whoever we choose is the individual that is going to speak on our behalf to other countries, and those other countries have their people who speak on their behalf, and that's really all it is. This is our voice, and so we are choosing our voice, and that's why it is so important that we choose the voice that is going to make an impact and really speak for us in a way that is honestly the best for the future of humanity, because we're all in this together. This is not just about America, it's about the whole world and the cohesiveness among all of us. At least that's what we want. At least that's what I want. And that means protecting ourselves from those who don't want that, and bonding with those who do. And so hopefully we can create a better world with our choices, and that begins in the voting, and it begins at home. It begins in every vote we make, from what we eat, what we watch, what we think, what we say. Everything that we do is a vote. And so whether you decide to vote like I did for the first time in my life or you don't, just know that every action is a vote. Everything we do is a vote. We are constantly voting, and don't feel guilty if you didn't vote, honestly, because I hadn't, and it makes sense that happens. Just know that if you want to vote, it's a good time, and your vote I think it does matter. I believe it should, and if it doesn't matter, then this is not the reality I would want to be in, and I hope that we have a reality where we matter. So, with that being said, vote if you want to. Don't vote if you want to. It's up to you. But what I will say is the voting is quite simple. You fill it out. I would look up the people, go online, look them up, and then you take it, fold it, put it in another envelope, then you put it in another envelope, you seal that, and then you put it in the ballot box and just slip it in there, and you get a sticker. But it's, hopefully it matters. And if it doesn't, then at least you put your energy into something that you believed in. And if you don't feel like doing that, then you don't. But it was a big deal for me, because I genuinely didn't feel like my vote mattered. And I'm just saying, why not? I was in the area. I why not? I'll just vote and see. And I hope we choose the right person, and we make a positive change for all of us, every single person on this planet, every single person of kind heart and good character.